Alrighty. Well, I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed by the fact that, I didn't see people walk in the room with, like tears in their eyes or crying, like just fucking like weeping over this week or not, right? Because this is the very last week we're reading Rosa Luxemburg, and it's not just because it's like, or I mean, yeah, the reason why this is the last week we're reading Rosa Luxemburg is because she fucking dies this week or not, right? But no, I mean, I was gonna say this week. This week is in some sense the start of melancholia or not, right? Like broadly, just to say like where we are in the syllabus or not, right? The last 4 weeks or not, we were dealing in some sense with the revolutions or not. We were talking about the 1905 revolution. We were talking about the February revolution. We were talking about the October revolution or not. Here, as like starting this week, now we're going to talk about what I'm going to be calling regression or whatnot, right? Or sorry, I guess what we're going to be calling like regression or whatnot, right? And in some sense, like if in some sense last week or whatnot, right? We were talking about, if in the last 4 weeks we were talking about in some sense the success of the Russian revolutions or whatnot, right? And what that meant for the world or whatnot. Now we're going to be talking about the consequences of failed revolution and how that takes place, especially in regards to Germany or whatnot, right? In some sense or whatnot, right? Or not in some sense, but to phrase it a different way or whatnot, right? Everything we've read up to now or not has, in some sense, just kind of been like the kind of chronology or whatnot you'll find like with any sort of autodidactic reading of this history. It's a thing that, or it's if you go to any left or whatnot, they may be reading all these works beforehand or whatnot. But in some sense or whatnot, this week is in some sense really where Platypus or whatnot as a project will start to sink in or whatnot with the whole idea of what do we mean by the theory of historical regression or whatnot. In some sense, this is the week that will start to elucidate it or whatnot. And I will say, like, with these upcoming weeks or whatnot, I know I say this with a little bit of rhetorical exaggeration, but I really ask that, like, in some sense, like, people, like, really comprehend the despair, or, like, the world historical despair that is, besetting or whatnot, or that's becoming or whatnot, of, in some senses, lost history. If there was a deep revolutionary optimism that could be had with the first 4 weeks or whatnot, or if there was a lot of excitement that could be had with the first 4 weeks, now with this week and with the coming weeks or whatnot, in some sense, to really grasp it or whatnot, there might be like a grasping of, or like there might be an understanding or a comprehension of like the real melancholy or whatnot that comes with this or whatnot, right? Because we're in some sense we're dealing with the consequences of the failed world revolution or whatnot, right? Give me 1 second. Let me scroll down here, because I guess if we're to describe this period, if we're to describe this period in a 3-act play or whatnot, we could look at 1917, 1918, 1919 or whatnot, where in 1917 you had the Bolshevik Revolution, you had the October Revolution, you had the start of World Revolution. I shouldn't think this. The World Revolution has begun or not, right? I shouldn't bang on the wall either. So the first act is the revolution begins or whatnot, right? In Russia or whatnot, right? In 1918 or whatnot, right? Or so in 1917 here we're talking about the October Revolution mainly. In 1918 we're talking mainly about the November Revolution or whatnot, right? We're talking about the revolution spreading from Russia to Germany or whatnot, right? And then in 1919 the revolution gets crushed or whatnot. The world revolution is destroyed. So let's zoom in or whatnot. What are we talking about here or whatnot, right? I mean, what is this timeline? So in 1917 or whatnot, if folks will recall from last week or whatnot, right? We talked about the October Revolution or the Bolshevik Revolution, in which the Bolsheviks seized power or whatnot, right? And the Bolsheviks seized power, and in their own self-understanding, they were starting the world revolution or whatnot, right? They had seized, political power for this on the basis of the Soviets or whatnot, the Soviets of workers, soldiers, and peasants. That came later on, but the Soviets of workers and soldiers or whatnot, and peasants or whatnot, right? The Bolsheviks were able to establish a proletarian government or whatnot, right? In December of that year or whatnot, right? Because the Bolsheviks campaigned or whatnot, or the Bolsheviks, they ran, or their slogan or whatnot, right? Or part of their success or whatnot came with, or they had a demand of 3 things or whatnot. They said, what is it? It was bread for the workers, land for the peasants, and what's it called, like peace for the soldiers and whatnot, right? So, let's talk about the Bolshevik strategy in regards to peace. In December or whatnot, right, the Bolsheviks started to sign the Brest-Litovsk Treaty or whatnot, right? How the Brest-Litovsk Treaty is usually read or understood or whatnot. It's like, oh, what the Bolsheviks were doing is the Bolsheviks were negotiating peace, or like the Bolsheviks were negotiating peace with Germany or whatnot, right? They had, Russia was exhausted from, Russia was exhausted from war, was exhausted from revolution, and all that sort of stuff. So, what the Bolsheviks ultimately did is they tried to, they tried to create like peace by any means necessary with Germany or whatnot. So they wouldn't have to fight this front in Germany or whatnot, because they were still in war or whatnot, right? They still had German militarism or whatnot, coming up against them or whatnot, right? So the Bolsheviks or whatnot were here to negotiate peace or whatnot with Brest-Litovsk or whatnot, right? Another one thing that should be said about Brest-Litovsk here or whatnot is that there is also a political thing going on here with Brest-Litovsk, which is the Brest-Litovsk Treaty or whatnot by the Bolsheviks or whatnot. So with the Brest-Litovsk Treaty or whatnot, there's also an understanding that with this negotiation, even though ultimately the policy was peace at any cost or whatnot, one of the ideas behind Brest-Litovsk or whatnot was by signing the Brest-Litovsk Treaty or whatnot, we're actually instituting or whatnot, right, revolution in Germany or whatnot, right? By actually creating these peace negotiations or whatnot, we're in some sense we're splitting the military in Germany, or we're beginning that split in the military in Germany or whatnot, right? So there's this idea here or whatnot, right? And in some sense or whatnot, right? Let's see. Yeah, in some sense, or not in some sense, you start to see that pan out or whatnot, where in 1918 or whatnot, discontents with the war or whatnot, especially when, what's it called? In this place called Kiel or whatnot, or in the sea or whatnot, right? Backing up. In 1918 or whatnot, right? You have yeah. All right, sorry. Where am I? Yeah. So in October 27, on October 27th or whatnot, right? You have the German Naval Command order sailors or whatnot to basically go on this kind of suicide mission or whatnot against the British or whatnot, be on some basis of honor or whatnot, where it says, hey, we're fighting the British or whatnot, we're going to lose or whatnot, so one last suicide effort or whatnot to just go out with honor or whatnot. And this is what the officers are saying, this is what the German Naval Command is doing, saying whatnot. What are the sailors saying? They're just like, no, what the fuck, right? Of course, they're like, well, why would we do that, right? Why would we just throw our lives in just to kill ourselves or whatnot, right? And this ultimately amounts to whatnot, right? The officers, they tried to fight back or whatnot. They tried to force their soldiers. They even they even punished some soldiers, I believe, through the death penalty or stuff like that or whatnot. So horrible things or whatnot. So what you see or whatnot from October 27th to October 28th or whatnot, right? You have a naval mutiny or whatnot, right? You have the soldiers start rising up, you have the soldiers, or specifically the sailors or whatnot. You have the sailors start rising up or whatnot, right? And this spreads across Germany or whatnot, right? This spreads across Germany or whatnot, right? As kind of the first act of the revolution in Germany or whatnot. I believe there's also a group called the Revolutionary Shop Stewards or whatnot, who are in some sense trying to oppose the World War or whatnot in their own way or whatnot, right? As socialists or whatnot, right? Who are organizing workers at this time, but who also in some sense incite and inflame or whatnot, right? The naval mutiny to spread across Germany or whatnot, right? And what ultimately comes out of this or whatnot is you have, from the inspiration of the Russian Revolution with the Soviets in power, worker councils or whatnot, you have the the slogan or whatnot, right? Workers and soldiers councils or whatnot. That becomes a very popular slogan at this time, and in fact, by November 8th or whatnot, right? By November 7th or November 8th or whatnot, right? You have the first Soviets means workers' councils or whatnot. Workers and soldiers and soldiers' councils. I'll be referring to them as Soviets just because I think that's easier or whatnot, right? You have the first Soviets form at Kiel or whatnot, right? Moreover or whatnot, so this is what's happening. So you have these mass discontents, mass uprising or whatnot. what's going on politically also, or I mean, this is also political, because this uprising also happens on a political basis. There are political demands being made here, and all this sort of stuff. There are mass discontents or whatnot across Germany or whatnot. The Kaiser Wilhelm or whatnot, right? He's in a very tough position, because in one sense or whatnot, he's experiencing revolution from below or whatnot, and from above or whatnot, he has fucking Woodrow Wilson over here being like, okay, we're going to declare total war on Germany if Germany doesn't surrender. So he's like, shit, fuck do we do or whatnot, right? Ultimately, this leads to the Kaiser Wilhelm being like, okay, the only way for us to preserve ourselves, to make sure that Germany doesn't fall into total war and everything like that, is because the U.S. is saying, okay, we're going to have a total war in Germany until it becomes a republic or not, right? And also, I guess something else that should be said is Karl Liebknecht, a very popular socialist who's against the war or whatnot, right? Very popular communist or whatnot, right? If I recall correctly, they to punish him or whatnot, they sent him to the war or whatnot to fight, which in some sense, why would you do that? Because all he's going to do is split the military, which he did or whatnot, right? But during this time or whatnot, I think on November 9th or whatnot, he comes back to Germany or whatnot, right? He comes back to home or whatnot, right? So the Imperial Germany or the Kaiser or whatnot recognizing or whatnot, okay, we're facing in some sense danger from above, and also we're facing war from above and revolution from below or whatnot. What the Kaiser Wilhelm does on November 9th is the Kaiser Wilhelm says, okay, I abdicate or whatnot, right? And I give the power to this guy named, I can't remember their first names, but these two guys named Ebert and Schneiderman or whatnot, who are both part of the SPD or whatnot, right? So literally, the Kaiser Wilhelm II, he abdicates and he gives the power to the SPD or whatnot, and then the Weimar Republic is established or whatnot, right? Literally, I can't remember if it's him or if it's someone else, but literally, someone comes out of the German palace or whatnot. They drop the red flags and say, Germany is now a republic or not. We are now a Weimar Republic. We are now the Weimar Republic or not. And I guess some fun fact or whatnot is Ebert and Schneiderman or whatnot are both on the right wing, or they're on the left or whatnot, right? But in the SPD, they are in some sense kind of the most right wing of the SPD or whatnot, right? Because they're they're socialists or they're social democrats or whatnot, but they are opposed to the revolution. They support the war and all that sort of stuff. But the power is handed to them or whatnot, right? The Weimar Republic is established or whatnot, right? But there's still discontents or whatnot, because the war is still going on. There's still German militarism, and in some sense, the workers and soldiers, they know. They're like, hey, no, the SPD has betrayed us. The SPD has betrayed the workers. They have betrayed they have betrayed the soldiers. They have betrayed the revolution or whatnot. Everyone knows this. Everyone is conscious of this or whatnot. Here's where the Spartacus, League in some sense starts to become popular or whatnot, right? Because so here's where the Spartacus League starts to become popular as, in some sense, because what they all call for, the Spartacus League calls for a revolution or whatnot. The Spartacus League says, hey, this is an opportunist government or whatnot. Hey, this government has betrayed us or whatnot. Hey, something needs to be done or whatnot, right? And I guess I should also know, so you start to have much more organization or whatnot. You start to have workers start to organize and rally themselves or whatnot, right? For this upcoming revolution or whatnot, right? The Spartacus start to become much more popular or whatnot. Even though in some sense the workers and soldiers or whatnot, right? Unlike the Bolsheviks, where the Bolsheviks had much more time to organize or whatnot, at a time to gain the majority of people on their sides. What you're seeing with the Spartacus is people are listening to the Spartacus, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're leading it. But the Spartacus, in some sense, is the kind of the revolutionary consciousness of the moment, or whatnot, right? And then I guess something that should be said or whatnot is on December 6th and December 24th or whatnot. There's with discontents with with a supposed socialist government, you do have a counter revolution kind of occur or whatnot, where you actually have in some sense you have a right wing, you have right wing forces or whatnot trying to overtake the government or whatnot, right? And also you have the government fucking crush you have the government crush or whatnot, the workers and soldiers or whatnot who are protesting and organizing on the street or whatnot, and all this sort of stuff or whatnot, right? And so with the Spartacus or whatnot, right? With Karl Liebknecht and Rosa Luxemburg leading the Spartacus League or whatnot, right? They, in some sense, they recognize that revolution's imminent or whatnot, right? So in 1919 or whatnot, in January, they're kind of in a tricky position because, they're kind of in a tricky position where they recognize that there's going to be an uprising that happens or not. There is going to be a rising that happens, and they do in a sense recognize that the revolution is too early to happen or whatnot. But they in some sense they're not going to discard it or whatnot. They're going to take head of it or whatnot, right? Because if you remember Luxemburg's point in the mass strike and social democracy, it's we as a party or whatnot, we need to lead these movements, even if we can't call upon them or reject them or whatnot. So what happens in January or whatnot is you kind of have something that akin to the July days or whatnot in Russia or whatnot. Do you remember anything about the July days or whatnot when we were talking about 1917?
The July days of the 1917.
Yeah, because I guess there's three things: the February Revolution, the July days, and then the October Revolution. Do you remember what was going on with the whole July days?
Was that when the masses were gathering, but it was there wasn't actually enough consciousness to actually push it toward a proletarian revolution?
Exactly. So in some sense, this is kind of what you see in January 1919, where you have the workers go on the streets. You have workers and soldiers go on the streets or whatnot. They're rising up or whatnot. You have, in some sense, just like the July days or whatnot, you have something that's more than a demonstration but less than a revolution or whatnot, right? But unlike the July days, where in some sense the July days was in some sense kind of a political, it was political training, was political experience. Sure, the July days did not lead to a revolution, but in some sense it created the framework for the revolution in October or whatnot. In some sense, January 1919 was similar or whatnot, right? It was more than a demonstration, less than a revolution. It was headed by Karl Liebknecht and Rosa Luxemburg. Unfortunately, both of them get arrested or whatnot, and when both of them get arrested, they both get arrested by specifically the Freikorps. The Freikorps are essentially the proto-Nazis or whatnot. This SPD or whatnot, right? They send out literally the Socialist Party or whatnot sends the Socialist Party or whatnot. The Socialist Party or whatnot sends out proto-Nazis to put down the Spartacus League, and I should note this, the Spartacus League later became the KPD, which is the Communist Party of Germany or whatnot, right? Or the Communist Party or whatnot, right? In Germany. But the Spartacus League, before they were the Communist Party, they were the Spartacus League or whatnot. But the socialist government literally sends out shock troops or these proto-Nazi shock troops or whatnot to put down to put down the communists or whatnot. And Rosa Luxemburg and Karl Liebknecht are arrested. They're taken to a place in Berlin or whatnot. And unfortunately, that's where they reach their demise, where both Liebknecht and Rosa Luxemburg, a gun is butted to their head or whatnot. They're knocked out or whatnot, and then they're thrown into a river or whatnot. And that, marks the tragic end of not the German Revolution, the World Revolution. The World Revolution has been crushed. So that's historical context. And now we can get a little bit more into our readings.